Hi, welcome to my speed build video. We're going to be building a cute little apartment for a young couple, and it's so adorable. But to start, we're going to have some pre-made rooms that I'm building right now, which are a kitchen and a bathroom, because this is an apartment building. It's a new construction. Most of the bathrooms and kitchens are going to be the same. I think there's only one bathroom that is different, and that's because I imagine the residents in this first apartment, they are very creative in their design choices, and so I figure they've added on some minor additions, like some peel and stick tile, and yeah, you'll see it's just a little bit different than the other bathrooms. But right now I'm just trying to figure out what kind of items I'm going to have in every single apartment. It's really limiting and it's kind of challenging to have the same items. You want every single individual's apartment to feel and look different, which obviously this is real life. You have a bunch of different apartments that are made at the same time. They're gonna have the same finishes. So I chose this light finish wood with the white kind of I don't even know what that's called, a white laminate paint. But yeah, so I'm so used to having dark wood and sort of orangey tones in my builds that I'm just I don't know what to do. So this was very fun and very challenging. I wanted to have the apartments be a little bit different on each level, so throughout the build I do end up making minor changes to the layouts, but otherwise it was pretty standard. I must admit that this apartment building shell I created a year ago, and I got kind of fed up because I was you know what, I can't even use it anyway because we can't do apartments and have them be functional. But now I'm making all of the apartments. This series is going to be a 12 video series because this apartment building alone has 12 apartments and each one is very unique. So I was yeah, I'll make this a series. I have plenty of series to come because I'm a city girl, born and raised in the city. So this expansion has been a true game changer for me. I'm going to be using this all the time. And that was my one big hang up. Well, I have quite a few hang ups with The Sims, but this one was the biggest one, and I'm so satisfied and happy that that has been fixed. So more into this actual build, I went with pastel colors and made it really modern, and I wanted it to be almost childish because I feel they're really sentimental, and they have a apartment with lots of bright colors, and I feel they're not afraid to have a youthful design and keep it fun. I figured that one of the people, I guess they're not people, they're Sims. One of the Sims is a gamer girl and the other one is more creative, artsy, design focused. So I wanted those two worlds to kind of combine in the sense of having that gamer girl vibe while also being super cutesy and artsy. And so I hope that translates well. The challenge with this apartment specifically was that it's a pretty small space, and I wanted it to have a ton of function for them because I feel they're really homebodies, and they spend a lot of time playing video games, watching TV, and doing little activities playing board games together, and they're not going out and doing things every single day. So this is a very lived in space, and it has to be super functional in order to accommodate that type of lifestyle. This couple is so freaking they're attached at the hip. They're clingy, they're adorable, and they are constantly around each other. So I wanted them to have spaces with that in mind, and this is why I'm putting the two desks together and having it be a shared office space that they've kind of jerry-rigged with a divider, and having that TV right next to it. The two Sims that I keep mentioning, one is Arlene. She's a geek. She's the gamer girl. She's very funny, but I also gave her the cringe trait because I don't want her to be funny to the point where everyone likes her humor. I want it to be like only certain people get it, and then if you get it, you get it, you know, like you're a best friend immediately. If you get understand her sense of humor, then you're a perfect person in her book. And I gave her the geek trait because, you know, she's a gamer girl. She's into like sci-fi look, and she has this kind of fun and whimsical lifestyle that is just like the center of her personality. And the cringe trait with the geek trait, I had to put goofball in there because it just makes so much sense. Like she doesn't take herself too seriously, and she's constantly joking around with people. And the main person that she jokes around with is her partner and the love of her life, Morgan. Morgan is the girly girl in the relationship. She is also what I feel is like a really good and caring and nurturing person. So I made her an animal enthusiast. Like anything with a heartbeat in her mind has a soul, and she wants to be like caring for them. I also made her very generous to go along those lines. Like she's just like the type of person who is a caretaker. And I also gave her the creative trait because, like I said, she is the designer of this relationship, and she's designing this life for them and really is the architect of their future. This sounds so like, but yeah, like she's really thinking ahead. She's planning out their future. She's bringing that creativity into their life and really trying to form this perfect life for them. And I feel like Arlene is just, she loves it because Morgan understands her, and they've got the perfect thing going. And other traits that are like kind of secondary traits for them is that Morgan is a morning sim and a muser from her aspiration, which she's got the painter extraordinaire aspiration. Arlene has the soulmate aspiration because she's so obsessed with Morgan, and so that made her alluring. She gets that from choosing that love aspiration. And she also has the incredibly friendly trait, which like I feel like, you know, people who have that cringe humor, they're just super outgoing and friendly, and that makes people more comfortable around them and gravitate towards them. Even if you don't appreciate the cringe, you still understand that those types of people are easy to talk to and they're not going to judge you that much because they're cringy as heck. I imagine that Arlene and Morgan met in college, and they're still college students, but you know, as lesbians like to move fast, so they're engaged to be married soon after they graduate. Arlene is a professional gamer girl. She is on the esports team at Brightchester, and I'm sorry, not Brightchester. She's on the esports team at Foxbury Institute, and she is a student at Foxbury. So she's a computer science degree student. Morgan is also a Foxbury student, and she's in the fine arts degree program. Her career is a simfluencer. So I made her a nano simfluencer. She's still starting out, and at first I wanted to give her the interior design career, but I feel like instead of being like an interior designer for other people, she's focusing on herself, focusing on her like lifestyle. And so then she's gonna become famous from being an influencer. Then once she's a famous influencer, she could easily get gigs as an interior decorator. I'm like, yeah, that adds up. That's a great like career choice. You know, you start off just focusing on your own life and then proving to everyone through your social media posts and online presence that you know how to make a lifestyle look grand, and then replicate that for other people. That's my thought process with that one. I feel like at this point the build is finally starting to come together. I really focused on cluttering up the space because they, like I said, they're homebodies. They're staying at home all the time. They're playing games, they're cooking, they're painting, they're just chilling at home, and so it gets a little cluttered. They have a ton of storage, but somehow still it's never enough. And I realized that it's still not enough color for me. I kept on like trying to add more and more items that were colorful to brighten up the space and really tell that story of the nostalgia and make them have that really cutesy aesthetic. Now this is the most unique bathroom in the building. It was also the first bathroom that I created, so I was still trying to figure out what I wanted all of the bathrooms to look like. And I wanted it to have that mass-produced feeling, having a lot of like really basic standard white porcelain features and nothing really unique was the goal. But then I realized like they wouldn't let their apartment look standard, and so I added some like shelves, and I added these gold mirrors to try and make it seem like they added those themselves, and a little shelf, you know, just really customizing this space. But none of the other bathrooms look like this at all. And having the like walk-in shower tub combo, it was such a like a what I feel is a Japanese type of feature, and none of the other bathrooms are like that. They're all very basic. And here I am just trying to figure out how I could give them double sinks, but the way that like the sinks attached to the counters is just not really, it wasn't given a good look in my opinion. So I had a lot of trial and error with this bathroom, and I think it came out decent. Figuring out what wall textures I wanted was annoying because at that point like my game started glitching. I had to go in and out of the game a couple of times, and then yeah, it wasn't great. I noticed that like the first week that I had this pack, what is this called anyway? Hold on. For Rent. Okay. When I first had For Rent installed, it was so glitchy, and then like after they updated it, I don't know what happened, but it started working a lot better, and it's a lot more smooth now. But before it was like I kept crashing and I didn't know what was going on. But anyway, I was talking about wallpapers. How did I yeah, so I finally decided to go with that like cute flower and strawberry wallpaper, and I was like, I want to have like different wallpapers for different rooms because I feel like they really customize each space based on its use case. And that's how I ended up with having multiple different wallpaper colors. And this like wainscoting, is that what it's called? I need to take some interior design courses because I'm always like, what is that? But I really want to know what the terminology is for all of these little like details. The bedroom space is one of the rooms that I think that they use the most frequently, whether they're putting their makeup on, painting, hanging out, just relaxing in the bed, or you know, doing some little workouts in front of the mirror. There's plenty of like uses that I've like thought of in my head. I'm like, oh okay, like maybe they could be crafting some beautiful masterpiece, I don't know. And of course you need a lot of space to get ready, and they only have one closet to share, so I was like, they definitely need a wardrobe and some additional clothing storage, so they got a dresser as well. I'm really like adding the final touches and finishes to the build, making sure that the build looks as cluttered and lived in as possible while still being clean looking. This build video is coming to a close, and this is the last room. So thank you for watching, and I appreciate the time you spent with me, and I look forward to seeing you at the next video. There's going to be 11 more build videos in this series where I finish up this apartment complex, and you can look forward to the next video, and see you soon.